Welcome once again. It's always a pleasure coming to you from Farmers Media, and this is Farm Drive, and I'm your host, Yoshe Mbogwa.
And of course, Bosquin KE here, and right in about now, how are you doing?
I'm doing very fine, very, very fine.
You good?
Yes, we are almost at the end of the month, so we've really waited for this month.
Yeah, you've just been talking about the month.
Yes, good.
The month ending. So what's the plot? What is it your birthday coming, or you so anticipating?
No, it's because this month has a lot of people bugging us on social media about their birthdays. I don't know. Seems like most of my friends and many people are born in this month. Tunataka kasonge.
Hey man,
to the next level. Yes.
Okay, I don't know what's good about this month, but this has been the longest month I've ever witnessed.
Yes.
But it's very fascinating to see the year is coming to an end.
Funny
in
part,
4 months' time.
Is
it
this month
or
is
3?
This month is going so slow, but when you look at it in terms of the year itself, you're moving very fast.
It's August. My mind isn't weird. Like we're still in July.
Yeah, some of us.
Like I thought we were in July.
No, we're in August, end August. Yeah, you are having one more year on your calendar. So, yeah, you need to. Yeah, one more year.
I'm growing old.
So today is on 22nd of August.
Yeah, days are moving. Like we have how many days remaining? Is it 8?
Yes.
Or 7?
This is August. August has how many days? 31? 30.
July, August. As July, I think it has 31.
31.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have some 9 days
to the end of the month. And we can't wait for it. I was saying today is on 22nd of August. What is this one thing you encountered or you did at the age of 22 years?
What if I'm not even yet? What? Oh man. No. Let's not go there.
No,
ask 12.
No, I just want to see at your age 22 years, what is, whether good, bad, something you learned, something you discovered about yourself, about a lesson you learned at the age of 22?
I'm not even 22. Let's start there. You tell me. Just now I'm telling you to ask maybe around 12 years.
No, not 12.
Below, okay.
Let me ask, your last age as a teen, that is 19.
It's 19.
I know you're 19, so.
Yeah.
I know you're early 20s.
Okay.
So, what is this you learned? What is anything you discovered in your lesson you learned?
Okay, what I discovered and what I learned. First of all, I discovered
So there are a couple
of things. I discovered I have a lot of, I have this potential in doing a lot of things.
Okay.
And I decided to break it and let me explore and see what I can do. At 19, I had a traveling agency, taking people to places.
At 19?
At 19. Actually, it started at 18 towards 19. Yeah, you can go and check it, Tavins Tours and Travel.
So what happened to the company?
It's still there.
Oh.
Yeah, so now, I was exploring my capabilities. So I was like, let me start. It boomed, it did well. Still doing it well. Second thing, I came up, we had a group of friends, what can we do, Then I met this friend, so intelligent. We came up with ideas. We started an award-winning platform.
Okay.
And it's really doing well. We are having it's like a gala, it's called Jamhuri Kenya Awards. So if you are best in media, best in anything, we have 47 categories. If you fit in there, you can contest.
For how long have you been doing this?
Now, you're asking me at 19. Now that was 19, the discovery. Yes.
Yes, so
That was the discovery, and the progress up to right now, it's doing well.
So how long have you been doing it?
3 years now.
Okay.
So yeah, 3 years is a lot of time. It's a long time. And at 19, I was in radio. I'd explored, and
What new thing did you learn at 19 years?
new thing, like in terms of motivation or skill,
Anything.
you can do
One
better.
thing you'll tell us.
Like be yourself. Like I learned to be myself and to explore my inner me. Like that's something that is talking to me, that is telling me you can do this. That's what I went for, and it never disappointed me.
You know, I'm curious that at 19 years you had done that. One when you go high school, kujeni hapa.
When I finished high school before. No, let's not go there.
I wanted to ask where you see yourself double that age, but that one will be for some other day. But thank you very much for joining us. You can follow us on any of our social media handles.
Yeah.
That is our Facebook page.
At Farmers Media, X at Farmers_, and of course, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to follow our website, www.farmers.com, whereby you can get any information you want to know or anything you want to learn about farmers. It's right there.
Yes. And again, this is Farm Drive. Welcome very much. You can just place any of the comment or any question that you want to ask about, or anything, because we are here for you.
Yep.
Yes. Now today we are talking about agribusiness, export opportunities, and how we expand our global reach.
Yeah.
How do we expand our export market as an individual? And I mean, what is the role that the government will play in expanding such?
Yeah.
I don't know what will be your view when there was a political discussion somewhere, and one of the gentlemen said, and I quote, so I mean, politics in Kenya is always the pro and the against.
Yeah.
We are pro the government, and we are for the government. We are pro the opposition. We are, I mean, that's all about politics. So this gentleman said that the government is engaging with very insignificant countries. Okay? I'm just paraphrasing. That the government is engaging with very insignificant countries that probably have nothing to give us, or probably have we don't feel the weight. Okay, so because at that time I think there was a series of several heads of state who came to visit the country, and I don't know what's your view on that as far as our topic is concerned today. I mean, do we have a block of which countries we need to engage as far as our markets are concerned, or should we choose for others?
Okay, my view.
Yes, you will. And honestly.
Yeah, okay, according to me, let's not view it as a country, but let's pick from something basic. Like just a common thing we engage in.
Okay.
You as a person, what are the type of people you interact with? Are these people are trying to bring value to your life? Do they have something that you're always willing to, maybe learn from?
Okay.
Maybe something that is benefiting to you, something that will add value to your life, or they're just people for the sake of I know so and so.
So I need to engage myself with people I look up to, or like people I can.
Now I'm asking the people you engage with. What are the kinds of people you engage with?
Of course, we must have a sense of direction. There must be a purpose as we walk. Purpose simply means they don't get me out of my purpose, out of what I intend to do, and I also don't get them out. But we complement each other in getting each individual goals. Yes, I think that's how I'll put it.
Then if you relate that with what are the country, as a country, you'll get what I'm trying to mean.
So what are you trying to
That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to get into details.
You're taking us around like you see those political experts. They come and tell you a story and they're telling you a narrative.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to understand everything. You just have to reason.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to reason out.
Okay.
So this is what I mean. The people as a country, we should be engaging with countries that are bringing value to our country.
Okay.
Even you as a person, as an individual, engage with people who are bringing value to your life, who are adding something to your life, or you're learning something from them. So, for instance, if you want to do something better, you go and engage with a country or a person who is doing better in that particular thing, so that it will be easier for you to learn and get new skills from them. Mm-hmm. So, if you do that, definitely you are adding some value to yourself and to them too.
So, if I get you correct,
mm-hmm.
And if I want to get you, as one of the politics, So, are you pro that statement, or are you? Where are you standing? So, does it mean that there are probably markets that we should not even think of, even as a country?
Mm-hmm. I feel like, there are some. Okay, that's my opinion. Don't take it personally. It has to stick here. I'll just let it slip.
Okay. But from the
let me pass.
Just as an ordinary Kenyan, mm-hmm. with my instinct, mm-hmm. I know where you stand.
It's fine. Just keep that. Keep that for yourself.
As a Kenyan, I know where you stand.
Just keep that for yourself.
So we are talking about mm-hmm. Agribusiness exports.
Yeah.
And how do we expand our reach in terms of exports as a farmer? Mm-hmm. So begin by looking some of the major produce that from Kenya and East Africa we export mm-hmm. as farmers, as a country, as a cooperative. Some of the stuff we export and some of the markets we have. I think the leading exports in our country is tea and coffee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like.
It's tea and coffee.
Have you ever gone for a coffee date?
No, I'm going is probably supposed to take.
Yeah, now I'm not. Okay, I can also ask you out for a coffee date. It doesn't matter.
No,
it's not a problem. No,
you really need to be serious when you're talking about somebody.
Yes, I can ask you out on a date.
Don't say present, but it should be present.
Okay, you want me to ask you for a date out?
Okay, no, I'm not saying
you. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I can ask you out on a date for a coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I can. That's why you're asking. It's not supposed. It doesn't mean that necessarily have to be you asking me out. I can also do that.
Well, the time is okay.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to mean. Have you ever gone out for a coffee date?
Yes.
What's your favorite coffee?
I just asked for coffee.
There's do you know any type of coffee?
No.
Which one? There are so many types of coffee. If you go out to ask for coffee,
they told me that, and I just told them, you bring in. In fact, if
there's black coffee.
Yes.
Yeah, there's the one which is there are a lot.
How many times have you gone for this?
I go. From work. Yeah. From work. Sometimes we want to chill and refresh. Just get to a maybe coffee place. Either Java, at cafe. Grab yourself. Relax.
You go alone?
Yeah. Does it hurt?
No. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Very okay. Now this reminds me of someone who was just taking this lady out for a coffee. The guy asked for the lady, can I take you out for a coffee date? And she was like, cool, yeah, I'll come. Now they met. She was asked, which coffee would you prefer? She was like, Robusta.
Oh, okay.
Robusta is a variety.
She must be from Muranga.
No, maybe she just studied Robusta in social studies.
Oh,
Maybe,
yes,
you know. Now that is an embarrassment. Yo. Okay, ladies, let me steal for you a secret. If someone is asking you out
no.
and he gives you the location of where you're going and the restaurant, be it anyway, just no, like even if just tell me where we are going. Let me Google the place, get to know their menu. Yeah, understand the menu, know what you can eat. You know, there's nothing as embarrassing as going to a place and you have no idea what the menu is, and maybe, you know, have you ever been taken to a place where it's just they serve pure seafood?
Right now. We're joking. Right now.
You're too slow, bro.
No, I'm just saying to visualize. I'm going with you for a date and like, so which coffee will you take?
Robusta. 1 cup of Robusta.
That is homemade. Homemade.
So yeah, like it's an advice because hey, there's this day I was taken out by a friend. Now this girl was like, I'm taking you for a surprise date. Actually, it was on my birthday last year. He was like, I'm taking you somewhere and I'm not going to tell you the place, definitely. And I was like, okay, it's fine. But okay, because he mentioned it was a surprise, it's like this dress. Let's go to the dinner date. Okay. Me in my dinner dress, you know, looking good, everything check. Picked me up, we went. Now, where we're headed, I'm like, at the gate, that place, you will just have to make a reservation earlier, like a day before. And then you're given cards. If it's for 2, you're given the 2 of your cards, so that the card is labeled where you're going to sit. Yeah. So you get to the entrance, you swipe it, then the door opens for you. I was like, okay, the card, okay. It was a 5-star hotel. Like, oh my goodness, I've never taken myself to a 5-star hotel, and now, the place, you know, have you ever gone to a place whereby the music played, it's the one, like, it's so slow, so soft, so smooth.
It's a total opposite of what you get in a matatu.
Yeah, like, it's so slow. Like, it's just giving you that peace of mind. And then it's so cool. If we get to such a place, just know you're coming out with a bill that looks like, you know. Yeah, it's so big. It's yes. If the pocket is not deep, I just avoid.
I'm just thinking.
Now
you probably
no. Let's not go there. So this is what happened. We're getting there, and now you have to start with a drink. I don't know. You have to have a starter meal, then. I don't know what was the next meal, and then the course meal, and then the dessert. Now you are having like 4. Or brought starter. I'm like, I've never taken these things. Seafood, you know, lobsters, I don't know, you know those things, and you've never eaten them, and you're like, oh, shit. Now I'm salmon. How are you going even to start? And it's like, it's sweet. And I'm like, I wish you told me we are coming here so that I Google for, you know, the menu of this place. I get to know, like, this is what they prepare. At least I know what I'm going to eat. You know, having that early preparation gives you, it's very good because you don't stammer. And you'll be like, have you ever been somewhere you've been served, a friend has been served, and you're like, still holding the menu, and you're like, I'll just eat what he eats. Yeah. And then you find out that food tastes weird, and you're like, since you ordered, you have no. You just have to force yourself.
And you have to, because you don't want to show him.
Yeah, but for him, he was understanding. He was like, just try anything. Anything she orders, give her. Let her try all types of food she wants to. I was like, yo. But it was a nice experience. Wherever you are, thank you so much.
You get shocked every instance, everything that is happening in new places. You're like, okay, this is what happens. This is what happens.
Now you're saying that it's like an advantage for ladies.
No, it's not an advantage. You get to, how do I put it? Because it might have a backlash on me. So
no.
It's also advantages that you get to be into places where you're probably your age and your pocket never took you. You're not qualified for that, but you get there.
Let me tell you, you're not limited to any place. You can go anywhere if you want to.
But at times you're limited.
Like for me, I'm not. I don't take myself as a limited person.
But the truth is, at times you are limited.
To what?
You might want to have the faith and the belief that you're not, but actually at times you are.
God is there. God exists. Why should I be limited? Why should I feel limited?
No,
I believe. Yeah. I know you. Huh?
I love that.
Yeah.
And I'll not be limited.
Yes, you should stop limiting yourself and creating some barriers and be like, it's like I can't do this. No, you can do it. It's just a mentality. That place you want to go, you can go. It's just you being like, no, it's far. I don't know. I can't afford. You can. Yeah. Just you in your own mentality and be like, you're thinking that you cannot, but in real sense you can.
It's just in the mind. Or in the mind. Okay. Now we are looking at some of the
products.
Produce that we export. We are saying that one of the largest export produce in Kenya is tea and
coffee. Yeah.
One that has been making headlines is the whole of vegetables and that flower.
Why are you forgetting flowers?
Yes, and flowers.
The roses, the red roses, like
for quite some time.
Yeah, actually, it used to be top 3. Flowers.
Yes, actually, after what?
Tea, coffee, flowers, and then now you come to others.
But flowers has been there for some time.
For quite a long time, actually. Yeah.
We have about petroleum products. They have also been in export.
The issue I want about our country is, why don't we have our own, our own processing company for petroleum products? Because you tend to be like, we have the crude oil in our country. In Turkana, we have it.
Yes.
Why don't we how do we excavate, or what do you do?
Yes.
And then it's taken to another country to be refined so that it's brought back. I feel like it's high time we have our own.
I don't know about the whole cycle of petroleum products, but probably it's all about a hierarchy of needs in a country, plus setting it up might be also costly. Then you also need to look at its viability.
Okay.
When we were discussing about the SGR, the railways, there's something we said about the viability of the project, that we use 324 billion and so 396 billion or so, and how much are we going to get from this project? But that's fascinating, because anytime we are constructing a road, we never ask ourselves how much are we going to get from this road. What is in our mind is about opening this area, connecting this area. I don't know if I'm okay. But when it comes to railway and the rest, we always ask ourselves, how much will this project, give us in return? So I will say it's about the hierarchy of needs. I don't know much about it, but I think it's a hierarchy of needs in a country. But I also think it's essential, because petroleum products are actually one of the biggest imports in this country.
Because if you check, everything uses petrol, like almost everything.
Every
It's
industry.
all actually. they require petroleum for them to process any petroleum product. So I feel like if you could, as a country, bring or be open to maybe private investors, they come in, establish, they be refining the oil from our country, then distributing from our country to other country. It will be a plus to us. So I think it can work. If it worked to that country, which is refining, why not us?
Well, it's an important point because there is something that the
No, it's trying to brainstorm it in a way. But anyway, we'll just talk.
No, of course, you never know. It might help. It might help. It's all about airing the views and airing the ideas. And who knows? It might land on the right person. It's one of the most important things. Back then, we also discussed about some of economic blocks that some of these countries belong, especially as a country, the economic blocks we are in, because these economic blocks also give farmers and business people avenue for accessing trade tariffs, accessing better markets in terms of accessibility, in terms of cost, in terms of less restrictions. So we need to look at our country is a member of which economic bloc. One of it is the East African, and I think the East African community is gradually moving to the next level.
Yeah,
there has been recommendations to have one currency, one language, one president. I don't know how viable all these are, but I think
it could be fine. Imagine you're from Kenya, you just go to Tanzania like you're just going home. To Uganda, to Rwanda, to Burundi, you can move freely. Yeah. There'll be job opportunities, like there'll be no restriction. You can go and work from other country, feeling at home. You're having that space.
Yes.
I feel like it will be a good one. For real.
it's a good one.
No, picture this. You're having a common currency. Now you see, if you come from Kenya going to Tanzania, like you have to exchange the cash. In Kenya, you maybe had 10,000. In Tanzania, you have hundreds of thousands.
Okay.
And that is bulk. At least we have a common currency whereby what are we using? Something that is compatible. Someone in Uganda can purchase in Kenya. We are making business to be it will be easier opening the borders and
accessible.
Yeah, it will be easy because we have some countries which are open to job opportunities. Let's say in Tanzania, you can get Kenyans who are good in English speaking, and they go and teach Tanzanians as teachers. So many teachers who can go and teach there. You get. Some of them are Swahili, they are Swahili speakers. So Kenyans, I know Kenyans speak Swahili, but ours is not that fluent. Yes, ours is, how do you call it?
In fact, they say, what is the name?
Genge is
the
Sheng.
Original Swahili, it's kind of different.
We have Swahili Sanifu.
Yes.
Sanifu.
Yes.
Yeah, we used to have Swahili Sanifu and moved it. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know.
Difference?
Yeah?
What was the difference between
I don't know. Still figuring out.
Or maybe it was just the books. So we can all be in agreement that if we open the borders, especially for East African country, because East African forms I'm saying Nakuru, forms Kenya.
The hometown.
Forms Kenya. It forms
Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi,
and I think
Somali came on Sudan, South Sudan. Yeah.
So if we open the borders for these countries, remember it began as East Africa, then it's
and Ethiopia.
Yes, but there has been some nitty-gritty details on that. So if we open the borders, that any individual or any citizen from Uganda can come to Kenya, trade with one currency, is able to access. So you probably don't need passports.
Yeah.
Because we began with the normal passports. You see the passports, then we came to the 1 year warranty, the one you pay, I think 650 shillings, then you're able to travel in any East African countries.
Yeah.
So if we abolish
the temporary passport,
temporary. If we abolish all these, number one, we're able to expand our borders.
Yeah, and the economy will be great because we have so many tourist attraction sites in East Africa. Actually, East Africa has the best. Starting from Zanzibar, Pemba, the islands, that's the sides, like for the coastal line. Coming to Uganda, we have, the other side of Mount Elgon.
Yes.
We have those sites. Like almost every country has its own attraction site. That one you're open to tourists. Like Africans, like the East Africans will be able to move freely, and because the only thing that blocks a lot of people is the issue of starting to process for your passport, and then you're like, you have limited time, you want to go for a holiday, you're kind of restricted. If we are open, I like traveling, as I said. So that's why I like talking much about traveling. So I'll be free. I can decide next weekend I'm going to Tanzania, the other week I'll be in Burundi. It will be easier because I don't need to, check in, do what. You're just moving freely. So it's going to be a good one in terms of economic and also in terms of agriculture production.
So I'm thinking about it in this manner. If we abolish the borders, is this like a farmer in Wasingishu or Narok who has harvested wheat and wants to sell the wheat probably in a different county, Nairobi? All you need to do is just pack your wheat into whatever means you want to use, and you move to the market.
Yeah.
But now when you're moving to the border, there are kind of a little bit restrictions, some paperwork you need to do, I think.
The customs, yeah.
Yes, that one really...
It demoralizes you because, at some point you might get to the custom and they'd be like, no, you're not eligible to go across the border. That's why you find sometimes these truck drivers, they strike because they're like, we've been carrying maize, we've been in the custom borders for like 3 days, we can't move, Yeah, like such instances. Like, it's high time we bring our minds together and be like, okay, fine. It's not necessarily we have that, like we have a one president for the whole, but we start somewhere. Let's open the borders. At least let the businesses run. For trade. Let's trade, like be there. Like that's my opinion, though. I don't know if it will work.
Well, the political side will take a toll on it.
Yeah, but
that's a long
economy. In terms of the economy and also food production, we will reduce a lot of maybe the issue when it comes to food production, like food security.
Yes.
We'll have the food security will be there. The issue of drought, maybe when there's drought, sometimes Tanzania produces maize, but they don't consume much.
Yes.
Unlike Kenya. Kenyans, we are consumers of maize.
In fact,
that's our staple food.
Yes.
Yeah, so you see, for them, majorly it's for sale. Now we are consumers. If we remove the issue of the border, it will be easier. Yes. Moving maize, it will be whenever we have shortage, we are sorted.
Then what comes in my mind is the social impact of that. There's what was happening in South Africa, I think, a couple of years ago. I don't know if this is the right pronunciation of this word, xenophobia, where we are looking at these citizens from a different country as not our own. And we're feeling like you guys are coming here to take our jobs, to take our market. And we have also seen that even with the border restrictions, at times you hear farmers saying, there is Ugandan eggs that have flooded the market. It is actually destroying our market. Okay, so I don't know the social impact when we open up the borders and you're like, now, yeah, you can trade. You can go to Arusha. You can go to Kampala. You can go to which part of South Sudan? Any part.
Khartoum.
Yes.
Okay, I feel it's going to open up people to be more creative. You might be contained in this country and you're like maybe you will wish to do a certain trade that is available in the other country, and you feel like you can do better in that. So that means you're going to explore and do better.
Yes.
And someone else has that, exchange. Those people feel an impact of, if I go to a different country, I might be impacted.
Yes.
In terms I might be productive. Maybe that's where you're best in. And it will give you that sense of, let me work hard and produce this much, because maybe you've noticed that there's less product. There's a market gap. Like for Tanzanians, they think they've now established the market gap of onions in Kenya. And now the Kenyans who are right at the border, they go buy onions from Tanzania, come and sell at a higher price. Now imagine if we could be open. Couldn't be having such. And then for them, there's that, exchange.
Okay.
It's going to flow. And it motivates you to be like, I'm working because I'm going to sell it to another country, going to do this to this. And also adapting to varieties.
Yeah.
You try new varieties from different countries, and you be like, I'm planting from over there, which are adaptable to your soil and the ecological conditions. So you go pick them, come plant them, see how productive, like the produce, the outcome, how is it going to look like. If it's well, then you feel like you're sorted to use either of the variety, of which it's a plus to you. If you have enough piece of land, it's going to be a plus, because you're unlimited, so you can grow anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we have a market for cassava in Kenya?
Yeah.
Is there a huge market for? Because I went to Uganda and I realized they take cassava in large. They eat cassava.
Cassava and matoke.
Yes.
Yeah.
So much.
But in Kenya, maybe in the western, because they're the consumers, the immediate neighbors.
Oh.
Yeah. But here in Nairobi, have you ever even come across cassava?
Yeah, I think we just celebrate.
Recently, this is when cassava is muhogo, right? Recently, we are seeing these street food vendors. They're starting to boil them. Some are, deep frying them and selling to people. It has just started recently. Others eat them raw.
So if the borders are made conducive for trade, and especially agribusiness, we will have variety of produce.
Yes.
That some people in a different country need more, but they don't have the ability to produce as much as they want. But you come and realize in Kenya we can plant and harvest in plenty, so we already have a market. So in conclusion, we can say probably borders are the biggest restriction to agribusiness.
Yeah, actually. They restrict a lot. Because I told you, I'm a good farmer when it comes to strawberry. Now you see, if I want to farm strawberries, selling it locally, it's not that much, I won't get that much the profit that I want, And if I think of going international, I'm like, now I have to go through the documentation, I don't know, to be approved, to get from the health sector, to get it, people come check, measure the quantity of the, nutrients, make sure if it's healthy, if it's supposed to be sampled, if it's supposed to be taken out of the country or not. Sometimes you've done all that and they revoke it and be like, no, it's not conducive for people. So you are like, you've gone all through that, and then you are restricted. You can't take your produce outside. Now you feel like you've been wasted in a way. So were it not for that, it could be easier. You grow even, you grow things and take even maize to the people. Kenyans who are abroad, they eat ugali.
Yes.
Yeah, they feel like they're still in the other country, but they can still enjoy their local meal.
Yes, we spoke about a business opportunity that some people who go to other countries, they realize, wait, I have a lot. There are many Kenyans in this area. So this
you start a mind the choma base.
start cooking Kenyan dish. And I've seen that especially here because they are Nigerians who came to Kenya and realized, wait, we are many of us here. So they start
Nigerian cafe. Yeah, I told you about that.
It works well.
Yeah, it did.
Because you already have
it does.
And I don't know how that works.
And you find even Kenyans starting to try their dishes, and they find it now. It's nice. Now you see, there's that you've started. Even if you go to Nigeria right now, you can eat their meals because you are like, it's there. You've ever tasted, so you feel like it's cool.
And the word spreads so fast in that.
Especially with the internet.
Yes. You're a Nigerian in Kenya. Oh, we have
a dish, a Nigeria dish somewhere. If you don't mind, you can come.
And it's so nice. We also have trade partnerships. Sometimes we hear countries they are signing. I think right now there is the Indonesian president is in Kenya. We're hearing that their partnerships they are signing here and there. And these are some of the opportunities that we need to take advantage of as far as exports are concerned.
Yeah.
Yes. What are some of the factors that one will, consider and include and think when you are getting into the export market? You're looking at an opportunity in the export industry, and when you want to probably be in the export industry or the export market, you're thinking of expanding the same.
Okay, factor number one, the quality and the standards.
Yes.
That is what they consider much. Quality and standards. Like, maintain high quality standards to meet the international market expectation.
Why is it? Why can't we meet those quality standards when I want to sell in my country?
That's the question I ask myself. I also ask, I don't know why, even the tea, the coffee they export, it's usually the grade 1 and 2. Then the locals get 3 and others. For them, the tea, and it's very expensive. Like, if you take grade 1 tea, like, it's so smooth and it's not even black. It's kind of brown in a way. And if you take like just a pinch, it will turn a whole thing. The color will turn. So it's sweet. It has that aroma. There's a way it smells.
I think that's the same case with.
And it rarely will you find it being sold locally. Because as a local person, be like, this one. Still tea leaves like this one. Why should I even buy the expensive one than this? So I think that's the reason why they prefer. Tea is tea. Yeah, that's the assumption.
So don't we have others who import their grade 1?
Okay, we produce. Why should we need that?
Oh, but if they come, we already have
ours. Why should we need yours? Maybe just curiosity and be like, let's test and see, feel the difference.
That's a condition that has many farmers in our country. In that today you produce maize, you produce potatoes, but you choose the best, you sell off.
Yeah.
Then you're left with
the others.
Yes, others. I don't know why that is a condition.
Because you prioritize money. Be like you're selling the best. But for me, I'll pick the best for myself. I'll always choose me.
I don't know why that's the instance. But we're saying, now if you need to export, we need to know the quality that...
it should have high quality standards for you to meet. And the other one, like...
Before you go to the next. I remember when the avocado market was opening. And there was yes. So I remember someone came in the village and said, I want avocados. And they were buying at a good price because previously you'll only have avocados for yourself or for the local market. So this individual comes and says, there's a market and I'm going to buy one avocado at this price. But they will put restrictions. It must be
Has.
Yes.
Okay, I remember back in the village, those when the international markets opened for Has, the avocado type. So they were like, at first people were given the seeds and they were told to plant them, and there was this agronomist who used to come visit the farm, and tell you, educate you, and all that. Now, it happened for like a year. When after they've produced, they're mature now, they came, harvested, and took them to the market. Now, that was the help, and they were like, now harvest, because we gave you seeds for free. Harvest, give it to us. You have the tree. As you'll continue to harvest. So the first harvest is ours. So we take.
Okay.
Now, these people took the market picked the best for the international market, forgetting to educate these farmers that these are the required for the international market. These are the processes you go through for you to get certified to take the products to the international markets. They forgot. Now you see, the way it's expensive. Now you find that now someone has no knowledge. Now it's like anybody can just pick, you can just sell it locally. Yeah. Of which, for me, if I have a Hass avocado, I wouldn't even think of selling it locally.
Oh yes, so you.
But it's I'll export. Yeah.
Okay.
The other one, for you to get to the other factor, for you to get to the international or for the export, consider doing a market research. Understand the target market, the consumer preference, and the competition.
The target market,
consumer or customer preference, the trends, and also the competition. You should check on that. And also identify potential importers, distributors, and buyers.
Okay. So I want to export wheat to Rwanda. I need to think about what in terms of the target
you market. Do the target market. Do even Rwandans consume it? Do they consume?
Okay.
How do they like it?
Okay.
Do they like it the brown wheat, the white one? If you're taking it the flour, how do they like it? What is the trend? How is the market trend? How is their buying? Is it too high? Is it too low? What are the prices?
So probably they are moving from wheat consumption to something else.
Yeah. What is the alternative? Yeah. Competition. Who else is doing it? Who else is selling the wheat to the country? Who else is in wheat and all that? Yeah. Also, the importers, those who are importing, identify them. At least get to know them. They'll give you details. The distributors will tell you this is what people like, this is what I do, and will give you the number of what they distribute per day to the shops, what is their income, and all that. And also the buyers. Before you do anything, you should this thing has to be bought. Definitely you need buyers.
Yes.
So you do your market research. Very important.
Funny fact is what I heard that happens in actually almost all the markets in Kenya. That there are individuals who don't go to the farm. They don't even bring produce to the market. They only wait at the market. Now you come with your produce, a whole lorry of potatoes. Their work is just to know who will buy all the potatoes in that lorry. So they don't go to the shamba, to the farmer. Their contact is between you have brought it to the market, who else is going to buy. And funny fact, if you bring it to the market and try to sell, you won't sell.
Yeah.
So these are the distributors
you're talking about. Yeah, because he'll tell you, bring this maybe 2 lorries, and they'll get the market at this price. No, they even give you the price. So if you're like, no, this one is too low, and it tells you a final price, and you're like, I'll better sell it by myself. Let me tell you, you'll stay there the whole day. You'll just be selling to the local, like the normal buyers who comes with 100 shillings, 200.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a lot.
You'll take time. So if they tell you that is it, you have no option. Because they'll call people and be like, I have potatoes here going at this price. Now he gives the one who wants a different price and be like,
Oh, yes.
because that one will give him the money. So he'll pay him for him to pay the brokers.
There are many careers that people never went to school to.
Yeah, that one you don't require. No school will teach you that.
It's called.
I feel it's a talent. It's an inborn talent because it's not fit for everyone.
Yes.
Hey, survival tactics.
We're talking about market research.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to do adequate market research.
Yeah.
And we always say in Farm Drive, we want to run our farming and our businesses as an enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
It simply means if we need to go at an extra cost of getting an expert's advice, we would rather have it.
Yeah.
Because we'll be maximizing our profits as we minimize any risks.
Loss. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So there is about documentation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You need to know every other documentation that is needed.
Mm-hmm.
Any regulation, you need to meet every regulation so that you don't get some problems at the borders, at probably using what we were talking yesterday, you're using flight. So you don't get these problems. You need to know every documentation that should be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So when we come back, we'll continue with the production and logistics. So make sure you don't go away.
We're taking a short break. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. This is Farm Drive. Remember to follow us on any of our social media handles. That is Facebook, Twitter, we said it's X, YouTube. Drop any comment over there. Post any question. We'll be right here to give you an answer for that. And now we're seeing about getting our produce and maximizing our profits.
Yeah.
And maximizing profits always begins with your soil, how you're taking care of your plant in the farm.
Yeah.
And it is very important for us to use fertilizers that actually add nutrients to our soil and help the plant to even bud and grow. And it is very, very important because it gives us more produce. We are saying we want to run our farms as an enterprise.
Yeah.
We want to maximize our profits as we minimize the losses. Now, we have what we call NASCO Organic Liquid Fertilizer. Now, this is one of the best fertilizers that as a farmer you can think about.
It is 100% organic. Yeah, and
organic.
It's made from the natural organic sources, and it improves what do you call it? Nutrients. It boosts the soil nutrients, and it boosts soil microbiome, the microorganisms in the soil, and it's also environmental friendly. Very friendly.
You see, I guess most of the times we have sometimes it's not even our farming practices. It's what we even add to our soil. It causes the acid level to be so high. So when you see some of these products that are actually dealing with the pH levels, it's very, very advisable for you as a farmer to use.
Yeah, and it also balances the soil pH, and it has no chemical additives. That means it's free from chemical additives, and your crops that are going to come out of that soil means they'll have 0.0 chemical percentage. And also you have improved yields in terms of production. So we advise you, if you want to go for a fertilizer, choose liquid fertilizers.
And one amazing thing is that it can be applied to
all crops.
Yes.
All crops.
Whether they are fruit crops, flowers, any that you have planted in your farm.
Yeah, and the best thing, it's made in Kenya.
Yes.
It's one of us. It's our pride. Yeah. So NASCO fertilizers got you.
So we're talking about exports, meeting the right standards, and I think this one will be one of the best
fertilizer to use. Yeah, because when it comes to chemical content, most of the export international markets, they prefer organic.
Totally organic.
Like that is their highly recommendation. Like they prefer organic fruits, vegetables, then that has less chemicals. So if you use NASCO fertilizers, you're sure that your crop, the outcome in terms of the chemical content, is going to come out negative, and which will be in a position to sell your produce abroad.
Very important. We're maximizing our profits
and minimizing losses.
Yes, exactly.
And as we continue with the factors that to consider while choosing an international market or the export, we said about the quality standard, the market research, the documentation and regulations. Now we're talking about the product adaptation. Whereby you have to modify the packaging, labeling, and product specifications to meet the preference and regulations of the target market. So you have to make sure you modify the packaging and the labeling. We talked about labeling and packaging. We said about it. So if you missed that, kindly go back to our videos and check it out. You'll get to understand what we mean by that. And also logistics and supply chain. You have to establish a supply chain management to ensure there's timely delivery of freshness of your products. So timeliness, the freshness, it really matters. You also consider the transportation options. That does it have the cold chain facilities and the delivery routes. We talked about that yesterday, like the choice of transport. You're going to use air, shipment, road, rail. It's upon you. Also, you have to check out on the price and how much it costs. The cost you're going to incur and the price. So you have to determine the competitive pricing that covers production, packaging, transportation, and other associated costs.
So you need to have all your costs. Then know I am exporting this amount, what price should I sell each kg or each per quantity of whatever you have graded them for you to get your cost and get a profit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on that, be mindful of the currency fluctuations and trade-related expenses, because currency fluctuates. Like today, you might find $1 its equivalent. There's a day it was 150 Kenyan shillings. $1.
Yes.
That is, you're like, no, the dollar is so high. It's easier. Now you get there, $1 has dropped. It's 102 or 120. It's no longer 150. So now you see you having a loss.
Again, it brings us back to the whole point of border and one currency, one language, national language. I don't know. I'm really waiting to see that, because for the students of history, for the students of
history students, yay.
There's what they call the enlightenment stage of any society, where they actually realize what has been dragging them behind. They start to create innovations. They come together socially, and I'm really waiting for that that thing to happen in Africa, so that when we will not see a big deal in getting the borders away, or getting, using one currency. Of course, probably there are countries that are perceived to be losing when we use one currency, but I think I'm really waiting for that, because it will really soften our trade.
It shall come to pass.
Yes.
Now we should check on their distribution channels, of which is very important. Therefore, you have to develop relationships with reliable partners who understand the local market dynamics.
Reliable
partners who understands the local market dynamics. These are the people who will tell you, this one will do well. This one, if we do this one will improve. Yeah, those are the people you should rely on.
Tell you when the market is open, when the market is flooded.
Yeah. And also consider the branding and marketing, because you have to develop a strong brand sense and marketing strategy that resonates with the target market, because marketing is very important. And also highlight the unique qualities of Kenyan farm produce, such as freshness, exotic flavors. You have to highlight that, because you're attracting someone and be like, Kenya is well known for producing the best strawberries. They are usually sweet, they have that taste.
Charge them.
Charge them and be like, add the unique qualities about this. What makes this different when it comes to branding? So that, from your branding, you're also marketing from that. And improve your marketing strategies. Yeah. And the other one is the cultural sensitivity.
Oh, yes, very
very important. Respect cultural norms, dietary preference, and religious considerations of the target market. And also avoid any cultural sensitive or offensive content in marketing materials.
Very important.
If you are going to a certain country and you are trying to sell or market something that is against their culture, it's not accepted. So make sure avoid anything that is culturally sensitive.
Just by itself, culture is very, very, very
sensitive.
I mean, there are times the government has had to arrest, remand people because of some weird culture. They have held it and they strongly think this is our way of life. So it's very important, because once the reputation has been destroyed, regaining it back is a journey. It's a journey in a battle.
And just to mention, but others, we have the risk management. Also, just mitigate risks by diversifying markets to avoid over-reliance on a single destination. So, prepare for challenges such as market disruptions, transportation delays, and regulatory changes. Some of the things that you should consider most, especially a disruption of markets. You're in the market, everything is flooded. Or during transportation, there's a delay at the airport. or during the airport transfer. And you get there, the regulations have changed, and they're like, you can no longer bring things to this country. And you have to prepare and have a risk management kit. Actually, let's call it a kit, so that you are ready for anything. In case of anything happens, you should just be prepared.
When you think about diversifying the market, I'm looking at it in this manner.
Mm-hmm.
In Kenya, when we are nearing the electioneering period,
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people fear getting into the Kenyan market.
Yeah.
So that simply means if the Kenyan market was your biggest target, you need to think of another market, probably for a whole year during the campaigning season, because it's heightened up. Nobody knows what comes afterwards. So you need to diversify the market and think, if I don't get Kenya, I can go to Uganda, I can go to Burundi, something like that.
Yeah.
You diversify.
Mm-hmm. And also networking and relationship, it's very important. You have to establish and nurture relationships with importers, trade organizations, and government agencies.
So you need to join probably, the exporters organization, which one is around there that will give you the information you need as far as the exports are concerned.
And also you have to attend trade shows and exhibitions to showcase your products and connect with potential buyers. Have you ever been to an exhibition?
Yes.
Which one?
There was one that was in my home area.
Mm-hmm.
It was most of the times those that have take place over there, mostly machinery, and mostly it was machinery.
We are having this September.
Yes.
We're having an agricultural show and exhibition. Make sure you don't miss out. It will be between 22nd.
It's in September.
September, yeah.
Yes.
Between 22nd and something. We don't pay much. I don't know. It's 100 shillings or 200 per person. Entrance fee. There are a lot of activities you get to learn as farmers. You go learn about there are a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my hometown used to go every year. Couldn't miss.
You're going to which?
Kitale Showground.
Oh, this Kitale.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I thought
You should
you
go.
went to Eldoret.
No, Kitale. It's one of the best, the biggest. Oh, let me tell you, my guys, you should go there. Actually, they give even seeds. If you want to plant seeds, there are those people to advise you, and they're available at cheaper, affordable prices. Like, any hybrid that has been anything that has been new to the market, it's tried and tested. Like you can see, this is the new in the market. This is the new breed or variety of spinach. They've even planted it, so you get to see it from there.
So this is one of the greatest avenues that one can use
To network.
Yes.
Yeah,
and get information.
Yeah.
About such markets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the other one is about testing and sampling. Yeah, so you have to provide samples of products to potential buyers for evaluation and testing before entering into the large-scale contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, if you want strawberries, I'll always campaign for strawberries. If you want,
I'm really hoping that day comes when.
Ciao.
Yes.
So if you are
big fan.
Yeah, man. If I want to sign for a contract, maybe for the international market for strawberries, this is what I do. I have to first meet my buyers, those people, the potential customers who will be selling to.
Mm-hmm.
I have to plant a sample of what I'll be selling to you. Come test it. Make sure, you have to test it, and has to go through the sampling, and they be like, now this is what we want, before signing for a large scale farming. Because if you sign for a large scale contract and that's not what they want, it will be a loss to you.
Yes, on you.
Yeah, and for them, it's none of their business.
Not the standard, so
we don't want this. This is not what we asked for.
Mm-hmm.
So be very careful on those factors.
So those are some of the things that one needs to think about, needs to be on the lookout as far as you are an individual concerned.
Yep.
But there are some of the things we need to keep looking at that the government can do to foster agribusiness export and to open up the export market for farmers. Okay? When we say about export, sometimes it looks like, this is such a huge thing. But I think sometimes it's just good to be daring, and as we say, we want to run our farms as an enterprise. We need to look at some of the things that the government can do to ease the markets for the farmer.
Yeah.
And one of them is what we say trade policies and regulations.
Yeah.
So when the government is making regulations that guide the farmers and that feed the farmers in their export. Okay? So it simply means that their tariffs, you see, especially in Kenya, when you are exporting, exports are zero rated in terms of tax. So that's a good avenue for one to explore. So the regulations that the government will set in place. So if you're exporting perishable goods, if you're exporting some of these cereals, it is important for you to know what are the regulations that the government has set in place to ease it for you to access the market. Yes.
Yeah.
So that is one of the way that it becomes so easy for one to export. Yes.
And maybe about the trade agreements whereby the government should negotiate and participate in bilateral and multilateral trade agreements that to provide preferential access to certain markets. And also, this the agreements help to reduce the tariffs and trade barriers, making it easy and cost effective for business to export.
Yes.
Yeah.
It becomes so easy for people to get into it. The third one is what we call market exporting agencies. And these are institutions that the government has set in place or empowerment that the government is doing in the various countries that you want to export your produce.
Yeah.
Okay. And one of it is all about embassies. A lot of times we think embassies is all about visa and getting there, but you can look at it in terms of sourcing new markets.
Yeah.
From the words of the deputy president, he said that they are focusing to look at the ambassadors they have sent in the different countries, that they just go and source for markets for farmers.
Yeah.
So we need to look at some of these agencies and the markets that are opening, especially in the country, so that you're able to know which market is easily accessible to you. Yes, very important.
And the market access and international relations, whereby the government use diplomatic efforts to improve market access for their country's exports. And they engage to negotiation to remove trade barriers and create favorable conditions for business in international markets. Very important.
Yes.
Yeah.
We also need to look about the infrastructure, where you're exporting, how is the infrastructure over there? Can we use road? Can we use air? Can we use shipping it? Can we use rail? So these are some of the things that the government can also do. The talk of extending the SGR all the way from Mombasa to Uganda. From there, it goes to Southern Sudan. So you look at that, it will be very easy for one to move their produce from Mombasa or Nairobi or anywhere that this rail goes. So you're sure if I use rail, I'll get to Juba.
Yeah.
So you're able to check on the cost in terms of rail, road, and air.
Yeah. Yes. The other one is about trade missions and exhibitions, whereby the government organize trade missions, exhibitions, and international trade shows to showcase the country's products and services. And these events provides opportunities for businesses to network with potential buyers and partners from around the world, of which it gives the sense of networking, building the business rapport, and
So you go to these exhibitions and you're able to meet individuals from those countries and you get to inquire about those countries and you get some information about it. We also need to look about what we call the market research and analysis. So the government is mandated also to research and analyze the data in terms of where do we have new markets. And the best thing about the present day is that technology and every information is just at a fingertip.
Yeah.
So you can get any of these government parastatals or government organizations that have their websites. They post their continuous information about that.
Yeah.
So we're able to know that there is a market gap in South Africa. We know there is a market gap in Somali, and we're able to get there with our produce.
And we talk about digital trade and e-commerce, whereby at this moment we have rise in e-commerce. So government can support businesses in expanding their online presence and navigating digital trade regulations. So whereby they ease, you can sell anything online or buy anything online.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the major things, I don't know if we can agree that this is one of the major things that the government needs to do, is all about funding and innovation. So as far as creating these tariffs, reducing these restrictions, we have custom regulations and the compliance standards that the government can do. We also need to look at it in terms of funding. So if the government is able to create a kitty where farmers can get credit facilities for them, especially for export, and also innovation, supporting innovation in terms of we want to package this, we want to label it so that it can be exported. The government funds the whole project and suppose the innovation in it becomes so easy for farmers to access the markets.
And lastly, the quality standards and certification. That is one thing that disturbs a lot of people. So the government can establish and enforce quality standards and certifications that enhance the reputation of their country's export, and compliance with the international trade standards can increase the credibility of produce in global markets.
So the government should come to the farmer before he or she gets to the market.
Yeah.
So they're able to train you and give you information in terms of the right standards for you.
For the international produce, for the international market. Sorry.
So we don't just wait for
you at the border, like, or maybe the airport, and you're like, no, you haven't met your standards. No, the government should take charge and be like, if you want to produce this for international market, these are their standards, and this is the way to achieve them. So it becomes easier.
So we can say the government plays an overall and an important part in terms of exports and in terms of expanding the market reach for farmers. That simply means in getting new markets, in getting the information. So it's also important for us to be on the lookout. Anytime we hear there is a visiting heads of state, there is a bilateral talk, there are treaties being made here and there, we get to know what exactly is happening. And what is the advantage to me as a potato farmer, as a wheat farmer. It becomes so easy for us. Then we can ask ourselves, then how do we expand the global reach? We as farmers, we as individuals, we still need to do market research. We need to have what we call product adaptation.
Yes. Whereby you tailor your products to meet the preferences and regulations of the target markets. Like, you have to make sure your product reaches the regulations that has been set. Your product has to reach the target market, and it involves the adjusting packaging, labeling, and product specification to ensure there is compliance and appeal to the local consumers.
So that's very important. We spoke about distribution channels. Wait, I come from where? Distribution channels. It's very important. For you to think about distribution channels. They're very, very important. We said actually, when you're thinking about this issue, we also see it in our local markets. So when you're getting into the international market, is something that you need to think about.
And also the market entry strategy. You have to choose the most suitable market entry
Yes.
based on your resources and target market characteristics. Whereby are you exporting directly, partnering with the local distributors, or you're setting up subsidiaries or joint ventures? Those are some of the market entries strategies you should consider.
We need to build relationships.
Yeah, very important.
Build relationships.
Yeah, this one you have to build strong relationship with the local partners, the customers, and stakeholders. Why are you giving me that look? No, building relationships. Okay, what relationship is in your mind?
No, I'm saying you need to know if you're getting to Uganda. Build a relationship.
Yes, have a friend. Actually, I think I have friends from half of the African countries. Yeah. If today I want to go to Nigeria, I'm sorted. To Uganda, I'm sorted. Botswana, I'm sorted.
Yeah,
Burkina Faso, I'm sorted. And if you want to come to Kenya, you're sorted. If you're my friend.
Build a relationship.
Yeah.
That would be a very nice channel for you to get information.
Actually, there's a day a friend of mine was like, there's someone, if I save you on my phone and you're from some other country, I'll save you with where you come from. Now this guy is calling from India and she's like, you mean call someone from India? I'm like, yeah. India, is the name India or they're from India? I'm like, yeah.
You need to think how we're going to get strawberry in Kenya.
It's fine. Actually, he is in the farming sector. That is the most interesting part. He does farming. There's a day we were video calling and they were showing me the farm, what they were doing. They were harvesting and I was like, oh, wow, that's how you guys harvest.
No, we need to have an interview with them one of these days.
Okay,
No.
maybe we'll look for a friend because for him, he's deaf.
Oh, okay.
So we communicate through sign language. Yeah. So I don't know, do you understand sign language?
So nice.
Yeah, and it's so nice. He just texting. If it's texting, he texts you very fluent. You get to understand. So maybe when you're doing first timing and there's like, we are doing this, blah blah blah, that's when you get to see. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
You didn't learn sign language.
No.
Yeah. No. Let's leave with that. We watch building relationships, whereby you build strong relationship with local partners, customers, and stakeholders. It's very crucial for successful international expansion. So networking. Okay, networking.
Welcome back.
And attending trade shows and participating in industry events can help you connect with potential partners. So it's very important. Build relationships.
Very important.
Not only relationship, you can build other ships. Yes.
Very important. We are speaking about what we began by saying, I don't know when, but we were saying about you see having an online presence. Simply means someone does not struggle getting who you are, what you do. So if you're a farmer, you need to use your social media handles to explain to people that this is what I do. Take us on a journey in your farm. These are planted potatoes. I've planted wheat today. This is the 20th day. This is the so-called day until the harvesting time. So if someone has an online presence as such, it will be very easy for them to trust you in terms of what you're bringing in the market. Very important. Yeah,
and also in terms of quality and consistency, you have to maintain high product quality and consistency in terms of, to build a strong reputation in the international markets. So word of mouth and positive reviews are very important to establish credibility. From, people be like, oh, he does this. Yeah, for real. You get the comments and, you get to know. And the market and promotion also, you have to develop a targeted market campaigns that consider the cultural and the linguistic nuisance of the target market, whereby you have to use your digital platforms, right? Where you have to market the traditional, either use digital marketing, traditional advertising, and other promotional methods to reach your audience.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's what we call customer support. There's what we call patience and persistence.
Yeah.
I think it really needs you to take the baby steps.
Yeah.
As you later on. If sometimes it becomes hard, you just have someone who holds your hand and you move together.
And also, we have the trade agreements and incentives, whereby you have to take advantage of the trade agreements and incentives that Kenya might have with certain countries. And also, the agreements can provide preferential tariffs and make it easier for the market access. And lastly, export financing, whereby explore export financing options provided by the government agencies and financial institutions to support your expansion efforts.
Then, I mean, everything, as you said, everything has challenges.
Yeah.
There are a couple of challenges as an individual you will encounter when you are getting into this market.
It's very challenging, actually. I feel it's easier when you establish it. It won't have so much challenge, because the challenge is always at the beginning, before you start and establish something. There'll always be a challenge before get networks, get to build relationships and all that. But after you've done that, I'm sure it will be easier. Yeah, but at first you have to encounter some challenges. Yeah, they have to be there, especially when you get to the airport and you are told your product is revoked due to the quality and standards you haven't met. The standards, we've done the testing, it can't fit the international market.
Or even the whole process of documentation of getting
paperwork. I know. At first it's hectic, but once you get used to it, it will be easier. So some of these challenges, number one, like I've just mentioned about the quality and standards.
So high.
You have to meet.
You have to get out of your comfort.
Meeting the quality and safety standards of the target market can be a challenge. And so exporting countries need to adhere to international standards, certifications and regulation to ensure that their products are accepted and trusted by consumers of the countries you're exporting to. Make sure. So sometimes it is a challenge. You might get they are no, the chemical content in this is so high. It's somehow high, you don't recommend. And you tested it and you're even I can consume it to see if it affects me.
Yes, I remember there were times when we were young. We used to take the milk the dairy. I don't know if you ever had an experience like that. So you go to the dairy and they have some machine they used to test the milk. They're like, oh, this milk seems like you have
added water. Yeah.
And you have not.
It's the cow you haven't given enough. Actually, that's okay. I've seen that when we're selling milk. Freshers. Yeah. Mostly if you milk freshers, they usually have that issue of their milk not having a high content of fats.
Yes.
Or fatty content. So it makes it lighter, not that heavy. So it feels, if you stay for a while without giving the cow dairy milk or these additives,
Oh, okay.
It makes the milk to be somehow watery and light in terms of it lacks enough fat content.
Okay.
So at times when they go and measure, they be it's been added water, of which it hasn't. Yeah. So it happens.
Oh.
We were taught and were there's this expert who came and was it's not the milk, the milkman or the sellers
It's your
fault.
Probably
It's the cow and what you're feeding it. So if we improve in the feeds and the additives, you're going to see the difference. So the moment you start noticing the milk, it's too white, it lacks the cream. Now it's the high time you give them additives.
Also, sometimes you find this cow produces white,
pure white, and even if you leave it for a while, it doesn't form the cream. Yeah.
Then there's another
that is too creamish, and it's so heavy.
Yes.
Even if you pour it on the ground, it takes time for it to disappear. Even if you let it stay for some time, even if there's sun, you still have a patch of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're talking about the standards.
Yeah.
The next thing is about supply chain and infrastructure. We're talking here, when you get into any market, you need to find what we call they're quoted like the owners of the market. They know if you come with this produce, I'm going to take 17 bags over there, I'm going to take 18 bags, I'm going to take 2 bags over there, and you've sold your produce. So sometimes when you get into a new environment, especially when it's not your country, you need to think about the distribution channels.
Yeah.
Where you're going to distribute the channels, and also the infrastructure. How are you getting there? So this is some of the challenges. You get to a country or you get to a market where the infrastructure is not good, or where you have not adequate information about the distribution channels.
Yeah, and also if you're having research on the transportation, storage, the cold chain facilities, you might end up having spoilage and losses at the same time, And the market access and tariffs is another issue. So if getting a complex import regulations, custom procedures, and tariffs in different countries can be time consuming and costly. Yeah, and therefore tariffs and non-tariff barriers can affect the competitiveness of agribusiness exports. Yeah, it is
very important. We have documentation and paperwork, and then we're saying this is one of the greatest challenge when you're dealing with exports, because there are many documents.
There
are many documents you need. Those that show the origin of these certificates of origin, the health certificates, and the whole shipping documents. You need them, so you need to be acquainted with this knowledge, so that these are some of the challenges. I don't think everything has a challenge.
And the other one is the currency fluctuations, whereby I said this earlier, the currency exchange rate fluctuations can impact the profitability, when it comes to exports. So making price negotiation and financial planning becomes challenging, because you might be planning today, you are selling it at $1, something at $2, and you go there and they tell you it's now 1.8. You'll be going at a loss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or sometimes if it's even in the locality, in terms of East Africa, you need to keep on doing the mathematics. You see 80,000 Ugandan shillings, then you need to keep dividing and then it's a whole process. Then we have market information and research. At times, this information is not easily gotten. It again depends with which market you want to venture in. So sometimes it's kind of discreet. So you need to find people who have been doing that, and endeavor in that market. So for you to get this information, that's also a challenge.
Competition will never lack in anything you do. I always tell you this. So you have to check on the, exporters. You need to differentiate their products and find unique selling points to stand out in the crowded markets. So I told you to find something unique, stand out, so that you'll be selling, your products. Have something unique, you'll sell.
We have culture and differences.
Regulatory differences.
Culture is the way of the people.
The way of life.
Yes. Because we value probably maize so much, you get to a market where it's just another type of food for them to take. Then we have regulatory differences. In Kenya, the regulations are not the same as in Uganda. So you will find it, and I think that was one of the issues that was raised when we had a meeting here on Friday with some of the experts who are meeting to do something so nice for farmers. And I know it's loading. And there was an issue that there is what we call the cess points.
Yeah,
between counties. So you find that you're moving in between 5 counties and you need to pay cess in
every county. Yeah.
So you pay all that, and probably you're shipping to Uganda. You also need to pay some amount at the border.
The custom,
Yes, these regulations, differences. You need to have them and know how to move around them.
And it's a challenge. It's quite a big challenge. And the other one is about the logistical challenge, whereby, exporting perishable agricultural products requires careful logistic time planning and timing, to ensure that your products reach the market at the right time. And even if the delivery, even if it's at a distant market. So you have to make sure the means of transport you're choosing, it should be quite the best fit to that type of crop or product you are transporting.
Yes.
And making sure that it reaches the market at the right time, and also maintaining the freshness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quality is very important. You also need to think about the seasonality. The season that that market is in. Because at times you might get to a market and realize whatever you're selling, it's in demand. And it's probably because it never performed well in the country. So you're thinking in Kenya probably there were droughts or the maize was affected. So when you bring maize at that time, there is a booming market. But next season, people have harvested.
Yeah.
So there is a whole lot of seasons, and you need to know which season do they consume this product, which season do they consume this produce, and where.
Yeah.
Yes, very important.
And the other one, you have to look at the price volatility. Volatile. Sometimes we have fluctuations in commodity prices that can affect the profitability of agribusiness exports.
Yes.
Whereby you find you've exported, and you find exported strawberries, and they are producing strawberries. Now you find there's flooding in the market, therefore the prices are low. Therefore, you, instead of getting profit, you get a loss.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to look at politics and what we call geopolitical risks. You're looking at a country where there is an election. You're looking at a country where there is instability. It's very important for you to look out for that, because where there are political instability, trade disputes, all this will sum up to a very big potential risk that is, looking at you in terms of you getting into the new market. So when you get into this new market, you need to know which season are they in the country or the society. It is very, very important.
And lastly, you have to check on the payment and financing. So whereby you have to ensure secure and timely payments. For exported goods can be challenging, especially when you're dealing with the new or distant market. Therefore, export financing can be a concern. So you have to be sure of who you are selling, who you're meeting with, who you're taking it to be. Sometimes the payment might be delayed. Yeah, so it's a challenge.
Yes. Well, we can say there are challenges in this market, but I think there are also benefits that one can reap. And once the government has opened the doors, and I hope what we are seeing in terms of the continent, the full push of one currency, trade restrictions being lowered a little bit, I think markets are going to open.
Yeah.
And we need to also get ready to venture into this market. It's very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
So these challenges, they'll always be there. Yes. And so you should just conduct a thorough research so that to minimize the challenges. At least if you're going to go through maybe someone to let it be maybe less payment, or just something, but be minimum. Yes. At least. Yes. Yeah.
Wow, thank you for joining us. Farm Drive on 22nd of August. It's always a pleasure hosting you there, hosting you over here, and finding you viewing us. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes.
You mentioned 22nd. What is your best memory at 22?
At 22?
Yeah, as we wind up.
Get back and know where I was at 22.
Oh, so you really need to go back. Where is the time machine? I think we should have one. I should probably get myself back to 11.
But then I'll tell you next time. I'll have gotten where I was in 20.
Okay, it's been a nice conversation from 3 p.m. Right now we are heading to 5 p.m. and it's been an awesome conversation. We learned, and I'm sure for now you're ready to look out for export markets, like international market, and you could start. You might not be a farmer, you might be someone who is willing to go to the farmers and be like, I can look for you market to these other countries, and that's where how you're going to create an opportunity for yourself. Come up with something like an agency and you'll boom. And talk to them, let them know they're meeting standards of the exports, and I'm sure it's going to be a deal.
Yes.
That's all from me. See you tomorrow, same time, same place.
It's always a pleasure. We are done with Monday. Tuesday is almost done.
It is.
One day at a time. You've done well today. Thank you for joining us. I've been your host, Yoshim Bogwa. Let's meet tomorrow, same time and same place.
Adios.
Thank you.